Hi guys, and welcome to today's video on the top games that revived a series this year. These games either went back to their roots and made a game that had all the stuff we enjoyed about it in the first place, or completely reinvented the game and just made it better. So make sure you go and comment down below any I may have missed, and with that said, we'll get on with it. First on the list is the most obvious one probably, and that is Call of Duty World War II. In my opinion, Infinite Warfare wasn't great for one reason, and that was the whole space thing. Oh yeah, and Lewis Hamilton was there for some reason. Ever since Call of Duty Ghosts, the game has been going further into the future, and it's just been getting much worse in my opinion. So basically, as far as I can see, going into the future is a bad idea. So that's probably why they thought, this isn't going very well in the future, let's go back in time, World War II, great idea, come on everyone, Call of Duty World War II. Finally, they've brought out a game that has no stupid jumping mechanics in where you can fly around and things like that, and it's just down to the core gameplay that we enjoyed from the first few Call of Duty games. Except now without all the flying stuff, I have no excuse for being bad at the game. Resident Evil 7 is a game that realised it wasn't getting any better, so it thought, I got an idea, let's change it up a bit, and changed a lot about the game and definitely improved in doing so. First thing, and the most important thing I think that they changed, was going into first person view. This made things more tense as you peer around corners going through doors and things like that, and not knowing what's ahead of you is a lot more scary. Also, they changed the fact that you are not some well-trained soldier or anything like that, but you're just some random guy who wanted to go and find his wife. This made it a lot scarier if you were imagining being in his shoes, just being some random guy who's just in the weird baker house. If I was in that situation, yeah, I'd just be done. So, this guy, you feel bad for this guy. Also, apart from the ending of the game, there weren't very many links between this game and the rest of the games in the series, which made it feel like a new horror game that wasn't linked with these, and it was just its own cool thing. Hitman is a series I have enjoyed since Blood Money. I really like the idea of taking out the biggest targets for the highest prices. Then the game Hitman Absolution came along and gave a whole story to the game about protecting a girl. That's noble and everything, 47, but can we please get back to the assassinations, please? We need to pay the rent somehow. All the missions seem to be getting from A to B, and kind of boring, and there was these weird, like, nuns. That's one thing I remember about that game that I just didn't understand, is these weird gangs of nuns that tried to kill you. And anyway, yeah, you had to get from A to B, and then assassinate someone at the end, but the assassinations were kind of boring, and they didn't have many ways to do it, and things like that. But anyway, this isn't have a go at Hitman Absolution time, this is praise Hitman time. Hitman was a great game because of the detail that went into each mission. Sapienza, for example, was one of the many destinations you could go to on this game. The main game had you take down 2 targets and a virus which were in this mansion on this map. There were many different ways in and ways to kill the targets called opportunities, which were the coolest thing that they had in this game. There was loads of different ones, there was at least like 10 I think maybe on each mission, and these were all weird and wonderful ways to do the kills. For example, there was one where you could become a golf coach and pretend to be one of the target's lovers to get them alone and then kill them. Or you could get flowers and pretend to be a delivery guy who was delivering the flowers for a grave that was in the mansion and one of the target's mothers. Then the target's like, oh no, grave, goes and cries, then you kill them. But it was amazing. There were all sorts of ways in and all sorts of ways to get the kill, and it was just so much fun that you could play it over and over again and try every different one out. The more you played these maps, the better it would be, as you got more spawn locations to use and more stashed weapons to use as well. You could also play elusive targets, which was the coolest thing they added in this game, and that's a target that only appears once on these maps, and you had one chance to take them out, and if you failed, that was it. You could use your skills from these other maps that you've played to be better at this one and try and take out the elusive target. Whenever anyone mentions Fortnite, you probably think of the Battle Royale mode, right? Well, the actual game was a base defense zombie game that wasn't bad, it's just no one played it for some reason. Then they saw the success of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and brought out their own Battle Royale mode, which did amazing and came as a separate game from normal Fortnite. It counts as being a sequel that revived the series, but if you don't think it does, tell me in the comments below. Either way, it saved Fortnite from being a complete failure that would have been completely forgotten. Sonic Mania is a game that was a throwback game to a time before all the bad Sonic the Hedgehog games. They recreated maps from older games and actually made a great game in doing so. The funny thing was how it was made. Sonic Mania is a game that was a throwback to a time before all the bad Sonic the Hedgehog games. They recreated maps from older games and actually made a great game out of the old formula with a few changes and improved controls. The graphics were old school and fun, and it was just a great game. And then the actual developers of the game spoiled this great game by bringing out Sonic Forces, which isn't very good. And that's it with today's video. Is there any that we missed, or is there one that you thought shouldn't have been on the list, like maybe Hitman Absolution, you really enjoyed that or something like that? Tell me in the comments below, and with that said, I'll see you in the next video.